Hey guys, it's the Tech Kid again, and today we're going to be comparing the original iPhone SE to the new iPhone SE, at least what we know of the new iPhone SE. So let's dive right into it. Here we have the compare iPhone models on the Apple page. So this is the one on the left is the one that's going to be new and that's going to be coming out. And the one is the iPhone SE, the first generation. So this one, the new one, is going to be starting at $399. And the other one is available at authorized resellers. This one has a 4.7 HD Retina display. Otherwise, the old one has a 4-inch Retina display. This one has a glass and aluminum design, the new one, which enables it to have wireless charging. But the old iPhone SE is like just aluminum or something. They both have the same megapixel amount of camera. They have 12 megapixels. They both have 12 megapixels. They have a 7 megapixel camera on the front one with 1080p HD with video recording at 30 frames per second. And the old one has a 1.2 megapixel front camera with 720p HD with video recording at 30 frames per second. This one, the new one, has the A13 Bionic chip with a 3rd generation neural engine, but otherwise the old one has only an A9 chip. And they say the battery life of the iPhone SE2 is about the same as the iPhone 8. Otherwise, the other one, it's just the thing with the iPhone old SE. And the other one's not water resistant, but this one is water resistant for a splash. I wouldn't recommend dunking in water. So, the display for this is a Retina HD display with 4.7-inch widescreen LCD multi-touch display with IPS technology. And the other one's basically the same thing, except the new iPhone SE has a 0.7 more inches bigger screen. The new iPhone SE has 326 pixels per inch or something, and the old one has 326 pixels by inch. The other one has 1400.1 contrast radio, basically typical, and the other one has 800 contrast radio. The new iPhone SE has a True Tone display, which the other one just has a normal Retina display. The new iPhone SE has a wide color display with and the other one has a full sRGB standard. The new iPhone SE has haptic touch like the iPhone XR does, but the other one just has normal touch. This one has the new one has 625 nits max brightness, which is basically typical. And the old iPhone SE has 500 nits max brightness. The height of the new iPhone SE is 5.45 inches, but otherwise the other iPhone SE is 4.87 inches. So the width of the new iPhone SE is 2.65 inches, and the width is 2.31 inches. The depth of the phone, so how thick it is 0.29 inches for the new one and 0.30 inches for the new one. The new iPhone SE is 5.22 ounces. Otherwise, the other one is 3.99 ounces. or 113 grams. The new iPhone SE is splash, water, and dust resistant. It's IP67. It has the A13 Bionic chip. Otherwise, the other one doesn't have the A13 chip. It only has the A9 chip because the A13 chip wasn't out yet. The iPhone SE, the new one, has a third generation neural engine, which is pretty cool, and the other one doesn't have it. The camera is a single 12 megapixel wide camera, and with the same one for the other thing. The aperture for it is f1.8, otherwise with the other one is f2.2. The new iPhone SE has optical image stabilization, which the other doesn't. They both have the same zoom amount, which is up to 5x. The new one has True Tone Flash with slow sync. Otherwise, the other one only has True Tone Flash. The new one has portrait mode with advanced bokeh and depth control. Otherwise, the other one doesn't. The new one has portrait lighting with 6 effects, and the new one has next generation smart HDR for photos. Otherwise, the only thing that the iPhone SE first generation has is just HDR for photos. It has the new one has 4K video recording at 24 frames per second, 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. The other one has 4K video recording at 30 frames per second, but the new iPhone SE, you could choose how many frames per second you want. The iPhone SE has, the new one has 1080p HD video recording at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, and the other one has the same. And the other one has extended dynamic range for video up to 30 frames per second, otherwise the other doesn't. And as we were saying before, the one has optical image stabilization for video. And the new one has digital zoom up to 3x, and the other one doesn't. The new iPhone SE has quick take video, which you can hold the camera button, kind of like Snapchat, and it'll just start recording. Otherwise, the iPhone SE first generation doesn't. The iPhone SE 2 has slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 FPS or 240 FPS. Otherwise, the other one that only has 1080p for 120 FPS, but the other one only has 720p for 240 frames per second. The iPhone SE has time-lapse video with stabilization, and the other one does too. The iPhone SE has stereo recording, and the other one does too. The other one doesn't. The front camera has FaceTime HD camera, and the other one does too. The front camera has 7 megapixel photos. Otherwise, the other only has 1.2 megapixel photos, which is a significant improvement for a front camera. So it has a f2.2 aperture. Otherwise, the old iPhone SE has a f2.4 aperture. They both have Retina flash, and it has auto HDR for photos. Otherwise, the other one just has HDR for photos. The front camera has portrait mode and portrait lighting, but the other one doesn't. It has cinematic video stabilization for 1080p and 720p. Otherwise, the old iPhone SE doesn't. The 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second. Otherwise, the other one only has 720p HD video recording at 30 frames per second. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. As always, this is the Tech Kid signing off.